Welcome, everyone. This is Pine Leaf Needles, and you're listening to LOTRO Players News, where we take a look at the latest news in LOTRO and hear LOTRO players. And this week we have with us Sanswinda,
Hello.
Galabathian,
Great! Hi, y'all.
and Krister.
Hello.
Hello, everyone, and I hope everybody had a nice little holiday before we go into the show. So let's begin with update 31.0.2. And these, of course, were some bug fixes that they had for the Fate of Gundabad. First off, note, for the Ultimate Edition Fate of Gundabad purchasers, Fate of Gundabad is the first expansion of the LOTRO market to utilize the new upgrading features, so purchasers can upgrade more easily from a base to a collector's to an Ultimate Edition. We recently discovered that purchasers who upgraded from the collectors to the Ultimate Edition ended up getting a second Valar 130, Gundabad delving supplies, and improved expedition supplies in addition to the Valar 130, Ultimate Expedition and supplies granted by the Ultimate Edition. In order to make sure players who purchase the Ultimate Edition get an equal number of these items, we are granting players who purchase the Ultimate Edition of Fate of Gundabad directly an additional Valor 130, Gundabad Delving Supplies, which includes the Gundabad Toolkit, and improved expedition supplies. For future expansions, they hope they won't have this issue again. And this will be delivered to the first post-novice character that you log into a non-legendary world after updating to 31.0.2. Now, I decided to log into Langeable onto my Minstrel there and get it on my Minstrel. Did anybody else already log in and claim their second one?
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, I claimed it on Arkenstone.
On Arkenstone, all right. What character on Arkenstone?
I believe Knuckle Sandswitch is currently holding it.
Oh, you haven't actually used it yet. So it's
No, but I claimed it.
You claimed it. All right. So that means some Arkenstone character is going to be utilizing this eventually.
Sans,
yeah.
dare I ask if this means you have 52 character slots now?
Only 51, sadly.
Oh.
And it won't let me buy another one. But I did check.
You did check, yes. Yeah, they decided no, not the... I believe the extra character slot didn't come with the Valor. It came with the Brawler.
I think that's accurate, yes.
Yes, all right. Well, Krister, what did you use it for?
I haven't decided yet. So I've got a hunter that I could possibly bring up, but the other question is do I really want to? Do I want to Valor so many things that I have not really had the fun experience of playing the class to any great extent? It's like, how many combat drops have you been in? Well, 32. How many actual combat drops? 0. All simulated. So luckily, Krister at least is authentic. If I ever was in a position to Valor him, I would have felt great about it because I had played him extensively. However, playing him extensively, I never needed to Valor him either. So.
Well, yeah, there is that little detail. Then let's go into the news and notes. For items, Gundabad crafted brawler belt buckles now have their correct stats.
Rubber baby buggy bumpers.
I was going to say, see them 5 times smashed.
Now, my question is, has anyone actually seen one of these mythical Gundabad crafted brawler belt buckles?
I barely see any brawlers.
No, I haven't yet.
I haven't actually seen any belt buckles at all. In fact, until I saw this note, I don't think I even heard of belt buckles Actually, someone might have mentioned it on last week's show or something like that, or just before the release notes. But outside of that, I had never heard of these belt buckles. There's never been a belt buckle in any way, shape, or form that any of my brawlers have seen. So I'm thinking, what are they talking about?
A belt buckle brawler, though. Think about it. He could like put a belt around each fist with the buckle like sticking out. It'd almost be like a cestus, you know. I guess depending on the belt buckle you had, you know. Of course, I wear a belt buckle. It's just a giant picture of me.
Well, I think of their gauntlets as being pretty close to a cestus as it is. So a cestus on top of a cestus.
It's double cestus time. Cestus for the rest of us.
A cestivus, yeah. A double cestus is a cestivus.
The jeweler recipe books found in the LOTRO store now include brawler belt buckle recipes. The Gundabad crafted light leg, hand, and foot armor has been updated to help differentiate them from medium armor. And Gundabad Allegiance's items tooltips now accurately reflect the number of Joruka allegiance points that they give. As for PvMP, the Osgiliath PvMP zone has been disabled until it can be reworked. Does that be because nobody uses it or something?
I'm trying to think of who that would have impacted, you know, what that announcement meant. Oh, no.
That place I never go to is closed.
It was too bad, too. I remember everybody was pretty excited about it, just because you thought that it could be really exciting within the confines of the city. But I don't even know if it was bad. It was just, I just don't know why quite it didn't work, you know.
Yeah.
But I think PvP was kind of waning at that point anyways, right? So
it was probably during the low point of PvP, yeah. Resource. Oh.
What do you mean during the low point? I think the low point is still going.
Well, that shows you how much I know about PvP. Resource.
Oh, go ahead.
Resource nodes have been updated in the Intimores to level cap. Healing has been reduced across the board for creeps by about 25%.
Oh, like we needed that.
Defiler heals over time have had their magnitude reduced by a small amount.
Get rid of PvMP at this point. They're basically making the good guys so strong that they're going to steamroll the monster players, and monster players are going to just basically not play.
Well, and then they'll, you know, then they'll make adjustments and they'll go back and forth.
And a small amount of outgoing healing has been added to Audacity. As for quests and adventure areas, for Fate of Gundabad, the instance den of Puchlok has reopened, and an issue that could cause teleportation loops has been corrected. The Cloven Gap quest, the Overgrown Vineyard, will now advance properly if you are in a fellowship and aren't the first one to the quest location, and a quest ring will display in a more specific location on the minimap. The Cloven Gap quest, Cloven Gap Mistwalkers, will now advance properly if you're in a fellowship and aren't the first one to the quest location. Some missing dialogue in the Deep Scrape instance, the truth of the matter, now appears in the chat box. Completing the Assault on Thurstroke instance now advances the corresponding Deep Scrape quest. Mosruk's Bond effect now works with shock moves in Tier 3 of Assault on Thurstroke. Muta's tenacity of the doors buff is now stronger. Mosruk's and Shakmer's health have been decreased. Thank goodness. Their health, I remember the one time I ran that one, their health was... You're kidding me. And Muta's tenacity of the doors buff is now stronger. Was stronger than the first time you mentioned it in the release notes? And as for miscellaneous, numerous localization corrections and additions have been made, particularly involving items in the Fate of Gundabad expansion. And that's it for the release notes, 31.0.2. Also this week, we have an article written by Bill Champagne, the Fate of Gundamad composer, where he discusses the writing of the music there, A Tale of Many Themes. He discusses the various themes that they have written for the Fate of Gundabad, and he also includes some sheet music samples of these. And you can find that over at the LOTRO.com site.
Although, fair warning and spoiler alert, none of them are from the Benny Hill show.
Oh.
I know, right?
There is no LOTRO weekend this week because of Thanksgiving. Therefore, we will head to our store sales, and this will include both the Black Friday sales that are ending on the weekend and on Monday, as well as the regular sales. And Calabathian, what are the sales this week?
Oh, dang it. Teacher called on me. Hang on. All right. That was the one window I forgot to pull up. Okay. Now, it's Black Friday sales. Has nothing to do with Sauron. Let me just say that. Black
All right.
Numenorians, Mordor, Black Friday. Actually, it might actually have something to do with Sauron because people go crazy on Black Friday. Anyway, I mean, it's everybody gives thanks, and then the next day they try to beat each other to death over like yarn. I don't know. But these are available through Monday, November 29th, 2021. So if you guys are hearing this probably on Monday, hustle because it's only on Monday is when it's done. We got some Black Friday offers. Double bonus points. We've got 60 to 85% off select LOTRO market expansions, Bomber's Bounty returns, and more. And I can tell it's all about Sauron because there's Gandalf the White and, anyway, Gandalf the White and Black Friday. I don't know. But for the LOTRO market, we've got 85% off the Minas Morgul expansion. So if you don't have it, it's kind of dirt cheap right now. Well, relatively. I mean, it was like $100 and something before, wasn't it? I mean, 60% off War of Three Peaks if you don't have that one. In the LOTRO store, we've got a temporary release, Bomber's Bounty. It's a bundle of useful things, including mithril and boosts. It's available through Monday, November 29th. Again, if you're hearing this on Monday, get to it. I think it's Cyber Monday anyway. Let's do it. Double bonus points are back. You can get twice the bonus points in the LOTRO store through Monday, November 29th. Do you see a pattern here of days?
Maybe.
So our Black Friday sales in the LOTRO store, we've got 75% off Stat Tome bundles, 50% off Stable Master stands, 35% off Virtue Acceleration tomes if you want to get virtuous in a hurry. Now through, when do we say? Okay, crickets. Monday, November 29th. Come on here, y'all. Focus. Keep up. Also on sale, Forge Your Own Ring. You can get 20% off of Crafting Guild Access, ingredient packs, crafting accelerators, rapid crafting, crafting tiers, and recipe books. Available through, no, not Monday, Thursday, December the 2nd. Caught you. These are both going to be for December the 2nd. These are our kind of store sales, normal ones.
Normal.
Your weekly coupon. If you're like me and you tend to jump off of things without using safe fall on your burglar, to the hilarity of, apparently anyone running with me, especially if they're running burglars with me. Free fall injury immunity times 5 with your coupon code Get Up Again. All one word.
Get up.
Yep, Get Up Again. Again, through Thursday, December 2nd. And don't forget, LOTRO Quests 2021, all one word, LOTRO QUESTS 2021. There's not much time left to redeem your coupon code to get all of our currently available quest packs for free. You can redeem the code in the LOTRO store, and the coupon code is available to redeem 1 per account through Tuesday, November 30th, 2021. So again, if you're hearing this on Monday, you got one more day. What are you waiting for? Tick, tick, clock's going. And it looks like that's all.
And that's all. Thank you, Calabathian.
Yes.
And that means it's time for us to check out what we have done in our weekend gaming. Calabathian, what were you up to?
Oh, mostly it was ESO, but I was on LOTRO for a little while. LOTRO on the Academy. I fought with my mouse and an AA battery. But once that was done and I had my mouse working again, everybody had kind of spent like 45 minutes doing LI stuff without me there. So I finally get on when they're about ready to go do something else, because that's the way it goes. And we had to redo again, and we chose our level 40-ish characters. So my lore master found her Thunderboar, because I haven't actually logged in since I got everything, from that pack. And she rumbled across the landscape a little bit before basically we realized we would have to help a member of the party to catch up to our quest line, much to Pine's, joy. He was hoping for progress, and I guess he meant progress forward for everyone, but we kind of had to we had to get our friend back up where we were going. So I kind of sat in Tentadir and then figured, since everybody else was helping them, except for, one member who went off to prepare to summon some of us over to where we were speaking with Gwyneth. I swam across the lake, yes. I rumbled across the landscape before swimming a lake in Evendim. I was part of the swim team. I swam over there and just kind of chilled out for a little while, listening to everybody else, killing bats and bar guests and everything. Didn't quite get where we needed to be, but at least I'm where we are needing to be when we play these characters again. Probably not for another 3 months, but, there you go. In ESO, because it was mostly an ESO week, first of all, I brought a bear to a knife fight.
So you won.
And I won, yes. And second, with a different character, I finished a major quest where I had to reunify a stone mural in northern Elsewhere that a thieving god stole and hid in the worst places possible for me to go fetch. Upon finishing that, I demanded to know, why did you do this? And he said something along the lines about how if I couldn't even get the mural back together, how could I hope to reunify separated countries? Okay, first of all, that is not my job. I am here to poke dragons and kill things and punt Euraxia off of the throne so the real person can be on the throne. There is none of this unification business. Also, it's probably way easier to find these stone tablets and put them back all together for one whole thing than it is to actually do a lot of other stuff, like unify a country that is separated. Anyway, I digress. Apparently, people are expecting really big things of me. I'm just like that, and that's on my necromancer character. So I'm like, I'm illegal, so y'all fixing to get a rude awakening. Also, ESO. My quest NPCs have been, well, how shall I put this? They have been trying my patience more than the thieving god in Northern Elsewhere. All right, so first instance, the quest NPC companion with me. We rush up in here and we stare at this huge amount of caverns, and the quest NPC goes, "Look at the size of the caverns. It's almost like something dug up from here." No, do not. Don't you put that evil on me, Ricky Bobby. And they didn't, sort of. But, yeah. In some ways, I kind of wish maybe they had just said, "Hey, something must have dug all this up and crawled up out of the ether. We're going to have to kill it." I could only wish. That's very straightforward. Later in another mission, a different NPC ordered, "Burn the webs so we could free this door from these magical webs." With the flaming torches literally next to and touching the webs. But yeah, let's burn the webs. Let me come over here and get this torch that is already... Y'all, I'm trying real hard to give thanks this week. But I'm thinking it's other people should be giving thanks that I am not, because somebody was fixing to get hit. Someone was fixing to get hit. I don't even think it was going to be a punch to the face. I think I was going to grab a turkey leg and start beating someone to death with the turkey leg at this point. But yes, that was my week. Krister, please have had a better week than I did.
Well, no. Well, I did a lot of puttering around in Gundabad, and am almost done with the Epic line at this point, and have enjoyed the Gundabad experience. And finally, I know many captains have reached this point many cycles ago, but I finally got my gear to the point where I got over 1 million morale. So I was quite proud of myself.
How much morale? I'm sorry. Could you repeat that?
Let me get my pinky affixed to the side of my mouth. 1 million morale. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so of course I'm completely ineffectual in every other way, but I've got a lot of morale.
Yeah, so. But you've got mega
taking
morale.
Everyone really a long time to kill me.
No, what I did though was I didn't upgrade my gear because I had really good top tier raid gear for 130. I figured that would probably see me through until 140, and so I did a 130 to 140 armor upgrades. And to say that the stats were significantly different between level 130 gear and level 140 gear is an understatement, especially the morale. So I was originally not understanding why we didn't have a vitality rune vitality essence, but the vitality that's just inherently on the armor and jewelry is more than makes up for the fact that you don't have vitality essences that you can slot. So very happy with the gear.
So what I hear you saying, Krister, what I hear you saying is that your captain is pretty much now a person, one of the NPCs we have to go and kill on the moors.
Yeah, he's reached a level 2 that he'd be irritating enough that you get him down to like 1/3 of his health, and then he would glitch, and then heal all back up to full, and then you'd have to fight him at full strength again too.
Yeah, he's your captain is actually like Captain so and so on the moors. That is an NPC that is like part of the quest chain. You have to actually like go kill daily for money and other renown and other sundries. Yeah.
Well, I'm really looking forward.
But you know what? We totally need to bork those monster player characters, man. We need the balance. Anyway,
well, we will see what happens, So, and then besides, and then last night we didn't actually raid, but we had a similar circumstance where we had a one of our kinmates who hadn't gone through a lot of the stuff in the initial quests out there, so we did a lot of running around with them, and it is so much nicer. I have to admit, it's so much nicer running around in that place in general with 4 characters who can just annihilate everything that's there. So you're not distracted by aggroing a bunch of things when you're riding through. Everything just dies along the way. So it was just fun doing that, and then working on collecting the mats now to make a bunch of gear, and then looking forward to seeing because I'm assuming if I'm dangerous enough to do so, is that the 6-man would be the next thing on the docket, and then if there is a raid, that the raid would be coming after that. And so I'm really interested to see what that might be, because I'm assuming.
Well, I could almost guess what the final boss is going to be in the raid.
I'm kind of feeling maybe I have an idea too. So
I mean, there's this. We just call it the dragon in the room.
But that's exciting. I'm looking forward to it too. So I'm really looking forward to getting to the point where we start doing some raid content again, and really take my captain for a test drive. And then I've been nerding out. I've been posting a lot of my stupid pictures on our channel there with my killbots. It is an ode to, of course, to Zapran again and Futurama. Where they have the killbot factories. And I think my killbots are coming along quite nicely. I got them really nicely articulated. I articulated their hands really nicely. So you can give a peace sign, which is exactly what you want a killbot to do, by the way. What's the first thing a killbot does? Is pretend it's not a killbot. Peace sign goes a long ways. And then basically at this point, that was it. I pretty much divided my time between LOTRO and Starship Evo. So, Sans, what did you get up to?
Well, I worked on upgrading my allies on Arkenstone, which started off with the realization that I had 0 inventory slots after talking to Linda. And might have involved purchasing a house and using the storage and decorating it a little bit to get stuff out of my inventory and out of the housing storage. So I started upgrading my allies, and then we changed characters and ran around even them on lower level characters, as Calabathian described earlier. And it was pretty fun, but I was still kind of distracted about the whole ally thing, because trying to upgrade level 106 allies that were in progress, level 100 allies that were in progress, was not nearly as smooth as trying to upgrade my nicely maxed out allies to more maxed out allies was. So she's got some choices to make. And then in ESO, I picked up some crafting surveys and ran around with Gorendis for a little bit, harvesting all the cool stuff. How was your week, Pineleaf?
Have you noticed, Sans? I was about to say, have you noticed on ESO that there are some areas where you have to you could not sacrifice someone's soul to one of the Daedra to find crafting stuff out in the wild, and then there are other places it's like you're tripping on them every third step. It's like,
I have noticed that.
Oh, hey, there's a log. Let me just. Oh no!
It's usually when I need them that I can't find them. But no, I've gotten the crafting surveys just backed up from logging in and doing crafting dailies, but not actually taking care of anything else because time. So I'm just cleaning some of those up, and yeah, it was pretty fun. There was one crafting survey that we couldn't actually find though. It looked like we were on top of where we were supposed to be, but there wasn't anything there. So,
guys,
oops. Yeah, that was my week. How was your week, Manly?
All right, I'll begin with my Creek Hollow Brawler, who finished up in the Wildwood and then headed on into Moria, meaning that I took care of a certain tentacled monster and got my LI. So seeing how I'm doing there. Then on Honor, my warden there survived a murder mystery banquet and then was following some rust around.
Was he food poisoned?
Well, it looks like there were all sorts of murders that were done over there. And my Landrival Minstrel reached level 130, and I participated in the... Actually, I think I got up to level 132. Yes, right, I got to 132, and I participated in Friday Night Fights. I think this is the first time in which I was healing during Friday Night Fights, so that was a little bit different than trying to do DPS or trying to tank or anything like this, where I say, okay, now I have to remember what's... I had red line and yellow line for my minstrel. And let's just say that after our first little attempt failed, because we tried to do tier 2 for reasons that I have no idea, that after the tier 2 attempt failed, I went and took my yellow line and switched it over into a blue line. I think it's the first time I ever respect a line that I had, because I normally just have 2 lines, and I have 1 or 2 characters that have 3 lines, but I usually have just these 2 lines, and I never touch the 3rd line. So this is the first time I looked at this and said, all right, I got to respect this because my heals just aren't good enough for this.
RESPEC. It's like, where's the rest of it? No, it's just respect. It's not respect, it's respect.
Yes. Yeah, so I did the respec, and everything then went a little bit smoother by that time. So we finished a tier 1 stairs, and after the stairs, we then ran several skirmishes, including the Battle of the Deep. Well, the Battle of the Deep Way is the one that I remember. Is that the only one, or did we do another one on top of that? I'm not too sure on that. And that, though, concludes my week in LOTRO. We did not... actually, let me see. Yeah. Yes, our top supporter this month is LOTRObuild.com. LOTRObuild.com is a collection of full LOTRO databases that includes an items database, a relics database, and a titles database. Also, you can use it right from your Discord server with LOTRO Bot. We currently have 16 supporters on Patreon and feel like to join this illustrious rate of players and help support LOTRO players. You could go to the donations page. You can support the Players Alliance on Patreon. Your money will be used for our podcast hosting, website hosting, and to pay for our live shows.
Hey, now you can say it. Now you can say that we didn't get any. I was going to say, are you okay, Pine? Did you get lost or something?
Apparently. This week we did not receive any emails, so if you can send us one, you can send it to podcast@loachplayers.com. You also have Twitter, the Players Alliance at Players Alliance, Loach Players at Loach Players, Arendis at Arendis, Pineleaf at Pineleaf Needles, Senswinda at Senswinda, Terry Edwin at Terry Edwin, Guarendis at Guarendis, Calabathian at Calabathian, and Krister is making killbots.
Yeah, so I can't be disturbed. So that was
The Players Alliance has 2 shows on Wednesdays at 7 p.m. US Eastern Time. We have DDO Players, and on Saturdays at 8:30 p.m. US Eastern Time, we have LOTRO Players. You can join us for our shows at LOTROplayers.com/live. And that's all for tonight. And this is Pineleaf Needles reminding you to skirmish responsibly.